Most people are losing money in meme coins. Today, I'm presenting top 7 tips to actually make it with meme coins. The only way. Tip number 1, holding is more than trading. What do we see here? Founder of Peanut, which is a $2 billion market cap currently. He had 10% of the supply of peanut that he sold for $760. At that time, it was $100 million. Right now, it's actually $200 million. I'm in some chats where people do know the founder of Peanut. They're saying that the guy is waking up each and every day and he's just crying. Don't be like this guy. We're in the holder market currently. You need to buy into coins and you need to have conviction in order to be able to hold. If you are having a bad day, just know that the Peanut dev sold the entire stack for $700 and it's now worth $100 million. $200 million at this stage to be correct. Learn how to hold. Learn what type of assets you're holding, learn what are the liquidity inflows and why the asset will go up, and act on it. This is the main thing in this marketplace. Currently, traders are getting wrecked. Holders are the ones that are making all the money at this stage. Tip number 2, understand market caps. Understanding market caps equals understanding upside. Where additional liquidity will come from, how early you are, how likely the narrative is to pump. Attention equals capital. We can check out the essentially the connection, and I can explain market caps in connection to pepe. Pepe market cap is at $8.8 billion at this stage, which means that if you're buying into this asset, let's say you're putting $2,000 into pepe or $5,000 into pepe, there's a very, very low chance you will actually be able to multiply your money. There is some better plays to pepe, for example, such as bobo. Bobo is currently at $120 million market cap, and chart-wise, you can see that pepe is somewhere here currently, and bobo is just here. So we can assume that bobo should actually catch up to pepe and be here essentially. So here your upside is definitely larger. We can calculate the upside following this chart. It should be around 4x at this stage. Something you also have on this marketplace is, for example, Snibu. Snibu is your better play to bobo out there. Snibu is at the bottoms currently. It's even lower than bobo, and if we would assume it would essentially reach the same type of targets chart-wise as pepe, somewhere here, right? It means that from these lows to these levels, Snibu will be doing 10x's out there. So this is a very, very simple overview of how you should be approaching these things. And the reason for this is the fact that Snibu is only $3 million market cap, bobo is already 120, and pepe is 8.8 billion. If you're buying a larger market cap meme coin out there, you should know, you should be ready that you probably won't be making a large amount of access, although often they're quite safe from this point of view. How likely the narrative is to pump, and attention equals capital. It's quite hard to understand and assume properly whether or not the asset has room to run. It's quite hard to correctly assume whether the asset actually has upside and any room left if you're buying at a larger market cap. But generally these assets are safer, and if you're not buying at the exact top, the exact type of the coin, you should be doing quite well, right? Moving further to the tip number 3, charts. They are all the same. Technical analysis is a tool that becomes redundant when liquidity and volume is present in the marketplace. I'm coming to the conclusion that technical analysis is mostly being used to push assets in the scenario where there is not enough liquidity on the marketplace. When there is enough liquidity on the marketplace, no one cares, and you can just push the assets as it is. It's a tool that is usually being used in the bear market or when there is not enough liquidity. Here I essentially drew for you the exact chart that is happening on each and every meme coin out there. This is probably the most important information in this video, and this is the most important information by far that you will be able to see on any channel out there. On any Twitter page, any channel, this is the most important thing. All of the charts out there, they're printing exactly the same pattern currently. I will show several examples right after. Some assets, they're here at the bottom. Some assets, they're here before the breakout. Some assets, they're here in terms of the handle. Some assets, they're already here. Rule of thumb, you're not buying assets that are here. You're buying assets that are here if you want to experience this pumpage, or if you're ready to wait but want to have large amount of access, you are buying the assets that are here. We can easily see this chart happening on Snibu, for example. Here you can see this long-term consolidation. We are breaking out currently. Something that should be following is our cup and handle, and essentially we will be going higher. We can also see that, for example, chart on bobo is a bit more mature in comparison to the chart of Snibu because simply it's just the larger asset out there. You can see that we have exactly the same chart on bobo as on each and every asset out there, and bobo is breaking out already. So it has a higher chance that it will essentially continue, but the amount of multipliers, amount of exits you will be making with this one is essentially less than in the asset that essentially have the chart of Snibble at this stage, for example. And the coins that had the breakoutage, something like Pepe, for example, also huge consolidation, cup and handle, and we're breaking out. So here, if you're buying right here, your upside is quite limited. I can also share this chart on the coin that, for example, essentially had the breakoutage already, and right now is consolidating, and actually has a chance of consolidating for quite a while as well. Same type of consolidation, cup and handle, breakout right here, small consolidation around the breakout. We're going higher, and what's interesting is that this pattern is kind of repeating the same thing. So we are consolidating, we are printing cup and handle, we are consolidating around this level. We have the breakout, and usually after the breakout we are coming back to this area where we had our breakout, exactly as we did it here. It's all very, very simple. It's all very, very simple to understand. You don't have to overcomplicate this thing. The only thing I want you to do in this market currently is be buying charts that are here before the breakout or here at the bottoms. I don't want you to be buying charts here. Obviously, if you don't understand that there is a lot of room for the coin, for the project to increase, you might be buying charts here. But if you're really just kicking off Memecoin game in November 2024, I would be cautious about these things. Just look for the charts that are at this stage, so you won't have to wait for a lot of time for the coin to break out. Buy charts like this, take profits, make money, rinse and repeat. This is the easiest thing out there in the marketplace currently. Follow good people. Follow good people with track record of catching things happening in the market. I would also suggest to follow people with a more conservative approach to the market if you're kicking off with the meme coins currently. The ones that are entering coins after dips and know how to hold. Their channels, 3 channels I can recommend. I will link them in the first comment of this video. Bossman on Telegram, FOMO on Telegram, and DGN on Telegram as well. They are often calling things quite soon, and at the same time they also know how to hold. So I would say these are the best 3 people at this stage. You can just follow them and you will most likely be making money in this market, even if you will just be buying each and every call that they are given, just because of the market structure at this stage, and just because of the way that they're essentially trading these things. So like, these people would rarely tell you to buy here. They would most likely be telling you to buy at the run up or at the corrections essentially, right? So this is the tip that you essentially should follow in the marketplace. Don't buy low caps only based on chart. The lower cap, the higher chance no one cares. Low cap, I'm talking about the coin that is not established at this stage, that has like less than $2 million in market cap, right? These are essentially low caps. If you're seeing a low cap, ask, why is it a low cap? Are you really early? Or is this narrative is not worth it and you will get wrecked? Buying coins after correction wills a live community, and potential is the best thing. So essentially, if you found a low cap, and especially if you got called a low cap by someone, like maybe you've seen some influencer talking about a low cap, don't take a look at the amount of followers of this influencer. There are a bunch of influencers on this marketplace that have fake followings. They have no pool, and they are ragging, they're scamming you on $1 million market cap coins, right? These are the things that are happening on the marketplace as well. So it's quite important to understand that if you are reading something somewhere and someone is calling something, that means that he bought already. That means that you essentially might be the exit liquidity out there, which means that you should always assess the situation and always understand, will there be people that will be buying after you? Will they also like the narrative? Does this influencer also has a larger reach in order to be able to attract some other people who is talking about this thing as well? So this is a very, very important thing out there to assess if you're being used an exit liquidity or not. Conviction is the most valuable thing on this marketplace. So this is something you should have in all of the coins that you're holding. You should understand why you're holding these. You should generally just like the project. You should like the narrative. You should understand liquidity inflows. You should understand who is holding. You should understand the community as well. And you should understand why you're holding. And what is the opportunity cost when you're holding things out there as well? It's very, very important thing. Want to sell? Go on Telegram, talk to the community. Want to sell? Go on Twitter, research Twitter page. Want to sell? Research on the narrative. Understand what are you holding. Some charts they also wanted to share to prove the point that essentially all of the charts on the marketplace are the same currently. Second chart that you see here and the third one, they are not connected in any way essentially. Yet they're printing exactly the same movements currently. So we can assume that second chart should actually continue and move up exactly the way the third chart is essentially moving. For people who are a bit more experienced, on the top we have the chart of ND Ethereum to ND Blast. If the chart is going up, it means that ND Ethereum is doing better and outperforming ND on Blast. In the middle we have the chart of ND on Ethereum to ND on Blast. If the chart is going down, it means that ND on Blast is underperforming ND on Ethereum. And third chart is bread, and the reason I have it here is because the chart pattern of bread is very similar to how most of the charts are essentially looking on the marketplace currently. And here, for example, we do have the same type of cup and handle out there, and bread seem to be breaking out right as we speak at this stage. So you might actually want to buy bread. Worst case scenario, it will probably do like this type of cup and handle scenario, right? But honestly, it should be breaking out from here because probably this was our cup and handle already, right? Despite that, we can see that the chart of ND Ethereum, the chart of ND Blast to ND Ethereum is very similar to the chart of bread. We have the same type of capitulation on the chart. Let me make it a little bit bigger so you would essentially see it as well. And I called the bottom of this pair today, and I called the top of this pair as well. We already can see that this pair is a little bit lower in comparison to the absolute top of this pair, and I expect this pair to reverse and liquidity to essentially come into ND on Blast and start to do quite well. So this is essentially the comparison that you see. The charts are specifically identical in between the ND on Blast to ND on ETH pair, which is exactly at the bottom and the last capitulation at this stage, and the chart of bread out there as well. So some practical example at the end of the video. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if you would like me to share top 5 meme coins, mid caps, safe place currently in order to get in at this stage and essentially capitalize short term in the current pumping marketplace. Thank you very much for watching this video. Stay healthy and safe, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.